So that almost brings to a close our program. We have one more brief presentation from Jeff Newton, but I wanted to just take a moment to stop and pause and thank some folks and then make some concluding remarks from my perspective. First of all, I want to thank the audience for coming and staying. It's been a full day and a half with lots of information and under trying conditions. But you've done well, and I hope enjoyed yourselves and learned in the process of the last day and a half. I'm sure that you have. I want to thank Sally Dale for all the work she put into preparing this program, and Robert Urban as well. It was extremely well executed. The purpose of holding this forum was multifold. One, to inform you about what's happening at MIT in the formation of the Koch Institute, and to educate you about some of the work that's taking place in the laboratories of our investigators and some of the work that we'll be undertaking in the future. And I think you've seen a view of some of that exciting work, ranging from chemical engineering applications to cancer to genetic screens and cancer therapy resistance and everything in between. A set of topics that you would not see anywhere else, I assure you. And this power of synergy and interaction and integration, we think, really does hold great promise for how we understand cancer and how we will treat it and control it in the future. I also wanted to encourage you about the future in cancer research, and specifically here at MIT. Cancer is a disease that is understandably shrouded in darkness and despair, based on the personal experiences that many of us have had, ourselves or among family members. The numbers are devastatingly bad, but they're getting better. And with new approaches, they'll get better still and more rapidly. And the new approaches that we're undertaking here, we think will break open whole new grounds, whole new approaches, whole new territories for investigation. We think at MIT about the ways that this institution can contribute to solving the problems of the world and the problems of society, the problems that we focus on. The problem that brought you here for the last day and a half is cancer, a disease that we all care about. And the way that we at MIT can approach that problem most effectively is to bring together scientists and engineers and technologists to think about the disease and to think about how to control it in new and exciting directions. So I hope that we've convinced you that there's something exciting happening at MIT and in the Koch Institute, something that is worth believing in and indeed worth investing in. And I appreciate many of you in the audience who have in fact invested in us. And I hope that others amongst you will be compelled to do so as well. And I invite you to stay tuned for all of the exciting developments that will be taking place in the days and years to come. You can access information about the Koch Institute on our website. You can sign up to receive our newsletter. And you can come and visit us anytime you wish at forums like this and informally. We're happy to tell our story. And we encourage you to tell our story to others. The story of cancer research at MIT is a well-kept secret. We hope to change that in the years to come through the Koch Institute and related activities. But you're welcome to spread the word about the exciting things and the important things that are happening on the cancer front here at MIT. And so with that, I'll close and invite, the closer to come up, Jeff Newton from Resource Development. Jeff's the head of Resource Development here at MIT. He came to us from Harvard Medical School, and prior to that, Johns Hopkins University and the University of Miami. Jeff has really taken this project by hand. Recently, he's in charge of fundraising for the Koch Institute project, and we're very grateful for his participation generally, including today. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks. My remarks will be very brief. Bill Pounds I was speaking to during the break. I think many of you know him, and he really knows fundraising. He's been very involved with it, and suggested to me that I suggest to all of you that for every $10,000 pledge we get right now, I will raise the temperature of the room by 1 degree. That's just an indication of how creative we are trying to be in our fundraising efforts for the Koch Institute. I'm not here to solicit you tonight, but I'm here to say a couple things. There is no higher priority for President Hockfield or for her administration or for her development office than raising funds for the Koch Institute. It represents the most important priority that I have on my plate right now, and I welcome it. It's been a real pleasure getting to know Tyler better and also getting to know what the Koch Institute stands for. I just had, it happens every once in a while, but I just had a sort of aha moment. You know, you listen to presentations every once in a while and you kind of understand them a little bit. I'm not a scientist, but I'm the educated layman that needs to understand what's going on. And Professor Yoffe's presentation really brought home to me why engineering and biology really is where it's at, and how the engineers and the biologists learn from each other to see and to break through their understanding in ways they've never done before. Now, I've heard this. I've heard it at Harvard. I've heard it other places. But today I got it. And partly it was the clear way in which it was presented. We have great teachers here who are great scientists. And partly was, you know, it just happens every once in a while where it clicks. And it clicked for me today. That's important because we live in a city where there is the greatest concentration of scientists working on biological problems in the world. Boston is unparalleled in its density of minds working on issues of this kind. But there is a reason why Mass General, Children's, Brigham, Beth Israel, Dana-Farber all want to connect with MIT. And it's because they all know, as do the cancer researchers in this country, that the great transformational breakthroughs, as opposed to the incremental changes, but the transformational breakthroughs are believed to lie at the intersection between biology and engineering. And all of those places I just named don't have an engineering school. We do. We don't just have an engineering school, we have the #1 engineering school and one of the most highly ranked biology efforts in the country. So we need the Koch Institute for our faculty. We need it to support their work, but we need it even more for the cancer research community beyond MIT. We have a responsibility to make what we're doing here available to them, because we don't care at the end of the day who finds the breakthrough. We just need it to be found. And it's a community of researchers across the country that are increasingly looking to MIT to learn how to find those breakthroughs. So we have a beautiful building going up. We have great equipment coming in. We have wonderful researchers. And every person who presented talked about their graduate students. I mean, we have it all here. And I think that all we need to do is to offer the opportunity to people to come join us, because people who care about breakthroughs in cancer, if they learn the story of what we're doing here, will actually be pleased to help support our efforts. And that's why, for me, fundraising for the Koch Institute is really a pleasure. And I look forward to working with many of you to do it, working with Tyler. And you know, I'm not a scientist. I won't be able to really cure cancer in the laboratory. But by doing what I do, I can help those who know how to do it quicker. And that's a real pleasure for me. So thank you all for coming. I would like to invite you to a reception on the 3rd floor. But before I do that, I would like you to all stand up. And I would like you to give Tyler and his researchers a round of applause, a standing ovation. Thank you.
So we're recepting on the 3rd floor?
We are recepting. Reception will take place on the 3rd floor.
coffee.